Hello, this is Ian. Welcome to another video. Today we are reading Chapter 6 of Hermitcraft, Subconscious Secrets. We are diving into what's about to happen. Now, things are about to shift, and let's enjoy the ride. This is a Minecraft-inspired fanfiction where I put all of Minecraft YouTubers I enjoy watching or just know about into a world and see what happens. In this case, we're focusing on Hermitcraft. Captions are available if you want to follow along. You don't have to, but it's there if you want to follow along reading the chapter with me. So, let's get into it. Grian loomed over a map stretched over the table, noting where specific places were with little cobble pebbles. He could hear beat-ups in the other room, rummaging through his storage system, gathering materials for tomorrow. Grian yawned, rubbing his eyes instinctively as he measured the length between each bait with his finger. Where would the best place be to set up traps? How could he ensure that it wasn't accidentally triggered? The bases, at least, were evenly spaced out, enough for a trap or two each, but would that be enough? Did he really want to make the protectors' jobs that much harder by adding them? Sure, if there was something out there, it would catch it, but what if that didn't happen? Was it worth the materials and work if they never got used? I think we should be heading to bed, don't you? Beat-Ups asked, appearing in the doorway, pocketing a shulker box he'd been carrying. I'm surprised you haven't gone to bed already, Grian teased, turning to him. I just want to make sure you get home safe. You too? Grian asked quietly. Beat-Up shrugged. It can be dangerous out, especially if you haven't been sleeping well. Worried phantoms will get me? Grian tilted his head. Nah, you can handle them fine. Beat-Up shook his head. It's just been really quiet out there at night. It scares me. The night always scares you. Not always, Beat-Up admitted, sheepishly, resting her hand on the door. I've got a spare room if you want to spend it here tonight. Blah. You sure? Grian asked. It's either I take you home or you stay here, Beat-Up said, matter-of-factly. Pick your poison. Grian chuckled. I'll finish things up here. Grammarly! It wants me to reload. Hang on. No. I'm not reloading. I'll finish things up here and head to bed. Good. I won't be far if you need me. I know, Grian said quietly, watching his friend walk down the hall toward the bedrooms. Why did Beat-Ups need a second bedroom anyway? For Isaac? Grian glanced toward the window. It was dark. Yeah. It was dark out. Darker than usual. Thunder rumbled in the distance. Grian frowned. Do you really want to go out in the rain and get soaked? You'd have to dry off first before going to bed. Peter was probably right. It was easier to stay. After all, they had a lot of work to do tomorrow. Grian put away the extra pebbles he didn't need, checking the map one more time. There was nothing more to see. It was only the start to something bigger. He smiled at that thought and left the map room. Yawning again. He'd made it to where he assumed was a spare bedroom when he froze. Was it his imagination, or had he seen something vapor-like dash into an open room? He glanced down toward the floor. Yep, there was an invisibility detector. Still alive and well. Not tampered. And not deactivated. Beat-up's messing with him? Grian shook his head, putting a hand on the doorknob. When the hair on the back of his neck stood on end, goosebumps crawled down his arms like 1,000 fire ants. The feeling was unsettling, but he wasn't entirely sure why. Hello? Beat-ups? Grian looked over his shoulder. The hallway was empty. There was no one there. No vapory particles. No looming figure. Not even a friendly face. Grian took a deep breath, trying to shake off the nerves. They were nerves, weren't they? He was just nervous because he wasn't sleeping in his bed tonight, right? No, that wasn't it. He'd slept over at other hermit spaces and was just fine. So why was tonight any different? He reached for the doorknob, relieved that it was cold to the touch. No one had been here. They were alone, safe. No one else was here. Maybe he just imagined the figure. Maybe he was just being paranoid. Grian opened the door and stepped into the room. It was dimly lit with lanterns that hung on the ceiling. A small chandelier hung above the bed, which was freshly made and untouched. No familiar deadly piece of paper warning him of his fate. No cloaked figure in the shadowy corner. He was alone. They were alone. He let go of the breath he didn't know he'd been holding as he walked further into the room. The soft woolly rug at his feet muffled his steps as he headed toward the window. Glancing out, was Isaac out there somewhere, watching the base? Were they truly safe here? Grian closed his eyes, resting his forehead on the cool glass. Another roll of thunder shook the earth beneath him. He could smell a hint of rain. Could he? No, there was something else. Something barely noticeable. Smoke. He opened his eyes again and looked outside. The meadow was quiet. The custom trees scattered about loomed high against the ever-darkening sky. Grian didn't know better. They could have been giants stomping across the mountain plain. Giants with long, gnarly arms and horns, maybe. Did giants have to have 2 arms to be a giant? Grian shook his head. Oh, is he kidding? It was late, and he was tired. He needed to get some sleep, if that was possible. At least he had this moment, by himself, alone. He'd been fighting for this for months. Finally, he had this chance to start clean, start over, to not have to worry about Gerald or Carnival coming after him again. Didn't they know that he didn't know where Nettie and the others were? Campbell have told them. Then why did Carnival want it? The door quietly creaked behind him as Grian froze, the sound breaking his spiraling questions he never wanted answered. Was that just the wind? Was Beat-up sneaking out of his room? Grian looked over his shoulder. No, his door was open. Wide open. Wider than he left it. Hello? Grian managed to croak out, turning toward the door. His goosebumps shivered down his arms again. Something wasn't quite right. Beat-ups? There was no response at first. The room was silent, just like the rest of the house. Someone else here? Dread dripped down his back like burning hot lava as he took a step away from the window. Just then, the door slammed shut. Grian jumped. Someone was definitely in here with him. Beat-ups, this isn't funny. Grian laughed nervously, hating how the room appeared to be closing in all around him. Suddenly something invisible shoved him backward. Grian yelled, noticing the faint gray bubbles of invisibility. He tumbled to the floor, shouting for his friend just as the invisible figure jumped on top of him, knocking the wind out of him. Grian wheezed and something cold clicked around his forehead. No, not again. Panic swarmed around him like bees, threatened by a predator, as an invisible arms held his arms down. Beat-ups! He yelps. Oh. Invisible hands. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. Grian gasped for air as a familiar voice chuckled above him. I wouldn't worry about him. He is none of your concern. The voice replied as the figure faded into view. Grian's eyes grew wide. He knew those eyes from anywhere, but it wasn't the eyes that scared him. Jam! Impulse! Help! Grian squirmed against the man's grip as he smiled. Did you miss me, Grian? I sure missed you. The man leaned closer toward him, pulling out a small iron dagger. Such a shame you got away when you did. It's not happening this time. This time? Grian swung his now free fist at the man. The man smiled as he caught it with his other hand, using his second leg to pin Grian's left arm down. Grian groaned as a sharp pain trickled up his arm as he struggled to pull away. But the man only tightened his grip. What do you want? Grian demanded through the gritted teeth. You know why I'm here. But how? Grian insisted. Rose did everything she could. Nobody is perfect. Not all plans are foolproof. The man shrugged. Smiled again. You should know that. Not going anywhere with you. Oh, but I think you are, the man said, as if pleased with himself. No one can save you now. Your friends are too busy dealing with other problems. What do you mean? Grian swallowed as the man lowered his dagger slightly. That's not my place to say. The man chuckled just as the scream filled the air. Beat-ups! Grian squirmed against the man's grip. Kyle, let me go. You can't do this. I can, and I will, Kyle said calmly, amused by the hermit's feeble attempts to free himself. Your friend is getting a taste of what's to come, and you'll join him soon enough. You can't. I won't let you. Tears burned in Grian's eyes as Beat-up's muffled screams filled the air. There's nothing you can do, Kyle said nonchalantly. You can't save him from what's coming any more than you can save yourself or others. What are you doing to him? Grian tried to kick at the man, but Kyle held his ground. Me? Nothing. I'm only here for you. To finish your mission, Grian gasped. Kyle smiled again. Precisely. Honored that Jarl gave me a chance to make things right. He doesn't care about you, you know that, right? Grian asked. You should mention that to the recruit. Kyle leaned closer, dropping the dagger on the floor before grabbing a cloth from his pocket. He's not going to go easy on your friend. What? Grian swallowed again. Beat-ups? Your good times are finally over, I'm afraid. Kyle smiled wickedly as he shoved the cloth over the hermit's mouth and nose. Grian tossed his head from side to side, trying to pull away, trying to push the man off. He had to get to Beat-ups. He couldn't let these men torture him like this in his own house. Home. same thing. Beat-ups! Grian's muffled cry faded as darkness filled his vision. The world around him faded. Last thing he heard, Beat-ups' agonized screams. And that is chapter 6. I'm afraid that's going to be the end of the episode. Next chapter will be, well, you probably guessed it, Scar. Yep, we're moving on to Scar, and then chapter 8 will be Gem. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that might be. Goodbye.